Hey, Greg, morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Let me send out this link real quick so we could have everyone join in with us. Get this going right here. All right, guys, let me get this on the social media real quick, and then we can get started. Oops, wrong one. All right, cool. Last spot is going to be our Instagram. So let me get this on real quick, guys, and then we can get started. All right, cool. All right, cool, guys. Looks like we are about ready to get started. So let me check the chat real quick. Hey, Spencer, morning. No more 9 to 5 work. What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are ready for a good trading week. Hopefully we can make back, for lost time last week. Right now I have US 30 right here open. So if you guys are familiar with the K2 daily US 30 strategy, basically what we're doing is we're waiting for the first momentum signal after the New York Stock Exchange open, which was right here at 6:30. So if you guys are live with me right now, you guys will probably see me follow it. And then once I get an alert, I'm probably going to send it out to the groups. And it's only going to be sent to the premium group. So if you guys are here, you guys will get it as well. But we'll just keep waiting for this. Otherwise, if you guys are brand new to the weekly webinars, basically what I do during the weekly webinars is I go down the whole watch list right here. And what I do is I mark up all of the nearby zones like I did right here. These are from last week. And basically, I give you guys the closest zones to current price. That way, if you're taking a trade in a certain direction, so say if you're taking a sell right here and you have this lower zone, generally what happens is price rejects off the zone and shoots right back up. Vice versa, if there's a buy signal and price comes up, or say if you're taking a buy position, it comes up this way and I give you this upper zone, odds are it's probably gonna reject off it like it's doing right here. It's like odd CAD is basically in consolidation. So if you guys have these rejection zones on the chart for you, you guys will have an upper hand in determining, which direction to trade and which direction not to trade. So if you look right here, these are the zones from last week for odd CAD. You can see how important these zones are, because basically what price does is it breaks a zone, retests, comes back up, retest, and it pretty much just bounces from zone to zone. So as long as you have these zones on your chart, you guys will know exactly where to trade and where not to trade. And then if you toss in the other K2 indicators, you'll be able to determine the direction of momentum and the direction of trend. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing today. Basically marking up the charts for you guys so you guys know where the zones are. And if you guys come in late, I'm going to be going down these in order, from the watch list from top to bottom. So if you guys want to go back, just go ahead and replay the rewind of the live, and then you guys can see exactly where the parameters are with regard to the nearest zones. If you guys have any questions for any specific pairs, feel free to just put them in the chat. and then I can take my time on them as I move down the list. But I'm generally going to be moving down the list. So if I pass the pair that you want me to look at and we're way down here, then I'll come back to that at the end because I want this to be in order so that you guys are able to, sorry, let me mute this. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going down this list. So if I do pass the pair that you guys want me to look at, I'll just go back and wrap around after we're done. That way, if you guys want to go and watch the rewind, you guys will be able to pull up any pair that you're interested in at a later time. So let's get started, guys. So let's get started with odd CAD over here. Basically, for odd CAD, let's see if the zones are the same from last week. They might be a little similar because I did adjust them when I was looking for trades last night. But if not, we're just going to re-plot them on the chart. See, TradingView is moving a little slow today. All right, cool. So let me check out these zones real quick. All right, they're good. So basically what I mentioned before, I'll just do this one from scratch so that you guys can see exactly how I mark up the chart. So basically what I do is I toss up a naked chart. This is a chart with no markings on them and no indicators. So basically this is what a normal chart would look like. In order for us to draw our zones, we're gonna have to turn on the K² SR version 2 indicator, which is this one right here. Once we turn that on, it's going to plot all of the nearest zones on the chart. And basically what I'm going to do, as I mentioned before, is plot these zones on manually. So basically I take the rectangle tool and then I draw my own zones over these K² SR zones to create one big zone. And basically if the zones overlap like they do right here, generally the rule of thumb is to have at least a 20 pip cushion from one zone to the next zone so that you can trade within that zone. Like right here, price rejected off this point and then it came down. Obviously you want some space for you to catch some pips before you, move your stop loss in profit or you close out your position in profit. Because basically what happens when price goes from zone to zone is it could either reject off it or it can break down to the next zone like it did right here before rejecting back up. So these zones up here are way too close. They're not about 20 pips. I'll just measure it for you guys. So this zone from this zone is only about 8 pips, right? The spread for this is about 2 pips. So in order to get in and out of this trade, you're going to have to pay about 4 or 5 pips in spread. And in that situation, you're only going to be able to lock in maybe 3 pips max. And if your spread is wider than this, then it's going to be harder for you to get in and out of the trade before price rejects on you. And that's why we create one big zone instead of creating, a bunch of small zones here, because there's no point in us trading within this small little area right here, because basically this could be 2 different zones right here, but it wouldn't make sense to trade within this little area, right? Because if you were to take a buy right here, price would have just rejected right off it, and then it would have just reversed on you. So that's why we like to have some cushion between the zone and the next zone, like right here. See, if you were to take a sell right here, you have a 70 pip cushion. So you can literally take a sell right here and ride this down and then move your stop loss and profit once it reaches, this next zone, so that if it does reject on you right here, you get stopped out in profit. You get to lock in about 60 pips right there. See, not bad. But okay, so going back to what I was doing, I'm going to draw these zones. Here is the naked chart. We turn on the K² SR version 2 indicator. I pull up the rectangle tool, and then I go ahead and draw my zones on the chart right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Actually, this one kind of extends down to this one right here. So we could just put that down to there. And then we got another one right here. And then we got 2 small ones down here. All right, so basically once you have these zones plotted on the chart, you can hide the K² SR indicator. And then there you go. You can see some nicely plotted zones throughout the chart. So you can see basically when price came to this zone, it rejected right off it, then it broke through it, tested the next zone, rejected right off it, and then kind of consolidated a little bit before shooting back to the next zone. And price literally just goes from zone to zone. So right here, price came up to this zone, rejected off it, came down. It's probably going to keep pushing down right here. And then once it reaches the zone, it can either reject off it or it can break right through it. And then if it breaks through this zone, this would probably be a nice sell to the next zone down here, right? Because like I mentioned, basically price goes from zone to zone. So if price breaks the zone down here, it'll probably push down, test this zone before either rejecting off it or breaking right through it and going to the next zone. So this gives you a basic framework for what to look for when entering a trade and when not to enter a trade. Because obviously you don't want to trade near these zones, because odds are if you trade near the zone, price is probably going to reject on you and it's going to reverse and you're going to be mad because you're going to be on the opposite side of the trade. So basically these are the zones for OddCAD. This upper zone right here is going to be 0.94860 and this lower zone down here is going to be 0.94537. And that's it for OddCAD right there. Let me take a look at US 30 real quick just to see where we're at. So right here for US 30, it did push down. So if you guys took the sell signal, you would roll this down for too many pips. Wow, that's a lot of pips. It's a huge amount of pips, like 3,000, almost 4,000 pips right there. So basically what we're waiting for right now is a buy signal, because what we're anticipating is for price to, retrace back a little bit and then continue back up. However, this was a huge move. So if you guys are following this move in the morning, I know a lot of you guys took the London entry, which was this one right here. So basically the way that this strategy works is we take the entry after the New York Stock Exchange open, which is 6:30 a.m. However, some people like to trade the London entry, which is after midnight. This strategy isn't meant for London, but people still take it and it does work. So, for the people that did take it, this is London open at midnight. And basically from this point, you want to take the first valid signal. So right here was a first valid buy signal right here. So if whoever took this trade right here and put no TP, they would have caught like nearly 10,000 pips on the market open right there. And I think some people did. I mean, this isn't going to be normally what we take. Normally we only take about 1,500 pips. So even if you took, the smallest amount right here, you still would have hit full TP. So basically that's what we're waiting for right here for the New York open. But until we get that, we'll just be looking at the weekly chart analysis for now. So I'll keep bouncing back and forth just to check on US 30. But for now, generally, we're going to be focusing on OddCAD right now. Hold on, let me check something real quick. So I need to, for my other accounts, sorry guys, got to turn on my copier. Totally forgot about that. All right, so let's run my copier real quick, and then we can keep going. I almost forgot about my copier, because generally when I take my trades on my FTMO, I copy it over to my my personal account, and for other FTMOs that I'm passing right now for people. All right, cool. So it's good to go. It's going to copy my trades. So, all right, let's go back to the FX pairs. So I already gave the parameters for OddCAD right here. The next one is going to be Usdchf. So yeah, I'm going to go and delete these off the chart. I'm probably gonna have to delete all of them. Generally, what I do is I just make little subtle changes to the zones, but because of this big move right here, there's probably gonna be brand new zones. Like right here, you can see prices way above here, and there's no upper zone. So when there's no upper zone, basically what I do is I go on the higher time frame, like the 8-hour, and then you can see that there's zones up here, right? So it makes it a whole lot easier. So let me go from 4-hour. Velocity is asking, what copier do you use if we are wanting to use it personally, unless you can't say? So the one that I use is, it was made by my coder personally. So it's like my own copier. However, there's a couple people there's a couple people in the group that have they use like a third-party copier, where you can just ask in the premium, because I know there's a couple people in there that do use it. But for mine, it's a private one. It's one that my coder developed and he manages it for me. So, it's not going to be open to the public, so you won't be able to use it. But if you ask in the group, I know there's a couple other companies. I just don't know what's legit and what's not. So I can't really give you a recommendation. But if you just ask around, someone will help you out. Sorry, guys. Dude, let's choke on my freaking water. Sorry, guys. Choked on my water real quick. I go to the bathroom. All right, so let's mark up this chart right here. But yeah, velocity. So back to what I was saying. So I use a private one that my coders created, but there's some people in the group that use like their own third-party one. So if you want to ask in the group, they could probably help you out. But I don't know one personally that I can recommend. So I'm not gonna give you one that I don't trust yet. But yeah, so let's go back to OddCAD right here. I'm gonna mark up these zones right here. Man, I hope you get that US 30 entry today because I've been wanting to take US 30 for a while. It's just with the elections going on, it's been too crazy. All right, so we got odd CHF right here. I mean, these lower zones down here are kind of relevant because they're so far from current price, but we're just gonna draw them anyways, just for reference. And like I mentioned, since there's no upper zone right here, we're gonna go on the higher time frame, the 8 hour. And then we are going to draw these upper zones right here. All right, cool. So going back to the 4 hour, I'm gonna hide the K2SR indicator, and then you can see right here that all the zones have been plotted. So you can see that the zones from this week continue all the way from, let's see, August, June. So you can see that these are strong zones because they test way back. Like you can see that I just drew these zones today, right? And you can see that the same zone that we're currently at right now was tested back in September. It was tested in August. It was tested in July. It was tested in June. And it was also tested back in January. So January up until October of last year. So literally this time last year, price was, or no, we're November now. So around this time last year, we were around the same zoned area. So you can see that history almost always repeats itself when you're trading currencies. So these zones are very important when determining, where to trade and where not to trade. So looking at odd CHF right here, the closest upper zone, I'm just going to skip this one right here because it's so close. This next zone up here is going to be 0.66788. And this lower zone down here is going to be 0.66456. Velocity said, have the results for US 30 daily and FX 4 hour. I don't trade on those time frames, Velocity, because if you're going to trade on the 4 hour and the daily for US 30, you need a huge account because those move about, 10,000 pips. So even if you're trading the smallest lot size on a broker like Hugo's Way, you're going to be risking nearly $1,000 per trade. So I don't even know if you can trade that. If you have the account big enough and you're able to take on that risk to risk $600,000 per trade for US 30, then you can do it. But I'm not taking that much risk for a trade like that, especially for US 30 during the election. So I don't have results for the daily or the 4 hour because I don't trade that time frame. Oh, okay, I just see it now. Next question, how many trades back testing or how far back do you think is good enough for wanting to back test scalping gold in US 30? I don't see the need to back test Forex since you already, yeah, you can go back as far as you want because generally I go back at least 2 years, at least 2 years generally for all of my strategies. But you can go back even further. It's really up to you how far you want to go back because obviously the bigger sample you have, the more accurate your results are going to be. I wouldn't just do 1 year or even a few months. Like from year to date, from 2020 to now, it's not going to be enough because it was COVID this entire year. So if you do a back test for 2020, it's not going to be an accurate back test because the market didn't move this way last year. You would have to do a back test of this year, last year, and then probably maybe 1-2 years back even further so that you can compare the data. You can compare the data from 2020, 2019, 2018, and 2017. Because the market moves sort of differently, within seasons and throughout presidencies. So obviously that would give you a better sample, but it's really up to you how far you want to go back. Because the thing is, I could tell you to go back 2 years back, but do you really have the patience to back test 2 years back? So if not, then you could probably just go a year back, maybe, go back to 2019. But obviously, if you really like a pair and you really want to master that, that asset, then you're going to have to backtest as far as possible. And if you really like that asset, it shouldn't really be a burden on you, because it should be exciting when you see these results. That's how I feel. Like when I created the K2 strategies, I basically back tested every single pair, 2 to 4 years back. And even though it took me like months to do, look what's come out of it. I have this strategy that works so accurately that, it pretty much opened up my opportunity to make profit trading, unlimited, basically, because I just literally apply the same exact strategy over and over again. Like a lot of people keep thinking that you need to keep changing your strategies, because that's how people fail at trading. They'll use one strategy, it works seasonally, then they move on to the next one once down stops working, and they literally just bounce from strategy to strategy. For me, I've been using the same strategy for maybe 2-3 years now. And, I never change strategy because it works. So what I do recommend is, if you like a specific strategy or a specific asset, just back test it, maybe 2 to 4 years back, and just use that same specific strategy and see if it actually works. If it's above a 65 to 80% win rate, then it's a great strategy. If it works that way all year round, then you can literally just apply that same strategy over and over and over again, and just stack up the profits and compound your, your account over time. But yeah, I would generally go about, hey, Velocity, why did you erase your message? But yeah, going back to it. Okay, let me see. Velocity, thanks then. And also, when you back test, are you forward testing with paper money or just replay mode then live? And with scalping, sorry, I'm gonna have to break down your question, Velocity, because it's kind of like a lot of stuff. So thanks then. And also, when you back test, do you forward test with paper money or just replay with live money? So I never do paper money, because a lot of people tell you to back test on paper money, but it doesn't really take your emotions into effect. If you're trading paper money, you're going to take all these trades and then you're going to make profits, and then you go to live and then you don't make the same profits, right? Same situation for everyone. That's why I don't paper trade. I would recommend that you do replay mode just to see if the strategy works. You just have to make sure that it actually works. If it works, then do it on live, but do it with like a small lot size. Because even if you're risking pennies, you're gonna still feel it. You're gonna be worried about your account, regardless if it's pennies, dollars, hundreds, thousands. It's really, if there's something on the line, you're gonna feel some type of way about it. And that's why I recommend that you first back test it just to make sure that it works. And once it works and you have at least like a 65 to 80% win rate, then yeah, take it live. But just use like the smallest position size, and then you can just increase from there. You can go from a 0.01, and then when you're super confident, just add another one to it, and then another one to it, and then you just keep increasing. Once you've been sold on that specific strategy, and that's how I back test and how I figure out my strategies. But yeah, there's a ton of ways to do it. Like if there's any specifics that you want to cover, just let me know and we could talk about it. But yeah, basically to go back to back test maybe 2 to 4 years. And then after you're done back testing and you know that it actually works, then trade it live, but with a small amount. And then once you get confident, just increase it from there. Let's see. Business Paying said, what is the indicator for highest point? That's going to be the high-low indicator. These right here. It's not the highest point, but it's going to be like the pivot point. So basically, price goes up there, goes down there. And they're not extremely accurate, but they're pretty accurate. I usually use this to identify the swings. So right here, there's no low point, but I'm pretty sure that once price pushes far enough, it's going to create a low right here. And there's going to be a number imprinted right here. And I only know that from experience, because I've been trading for so long that I'm able to identify these, swings, pretty much high-low swings, just by looking at the chart, even from a bird's eye view. But okay, guys, so let me, Vlad said, sorry, mistake erasing. Yeah, no, because I was reading your message, Velocity, and it just disappeared. So I was like, what happened to it? But okay, so I think I answered your question, Velocity. If there's anything else you want me to go deeper into, just let me know, and then we can talk about it further. But yeah, those are the bare basics. Just, go back and back test. Once you're comfortable with the strategy and you know that it works, then you can start trading it live. All right, cool. So we got Usd Chf right here. I'm going to delete everything off the chart, turn on the K2SR indicator. So let's zoom out from here. All right, cool, there we go. So we got the zones up here. Zones right here. Sorry guys, I got like a freaking glare in my eye. I wish you'd turn off this light above. It just keeps, it makes my right eye blurry for whatever reason. But okay, so let's keep going. And then the next one down here. Actually, this one's pretty messy down here. We might have to make this a big zone because they keep overlapping down here. Let's create that lower zone down there. And then this zone right here. And then this zone over here. All right, cool. So we have these all lined up. I have the K2SR indicator. And there we go. So same thing that we did with odd CAD and odd CHF. You know, if you go back and look at price way back here, you can see that price has been testing this area for a long time, and that creates a strong zone. So basically, tested back in September, August, July, June, and then again way back in December of last year. So the same time last year, let's see, price was pretty close by. So we're up. Today's November 9th. Right here on November 6th, it was in the same exact zone where price currently is. So you can see that this is a strong zone that's been tested last year and then tested time and time again this year. So yeah, this is where price currently is. This upper zone is going to be 77.335, and this lower zone down here is going to be 76.775. So those are the two zones in between price currently. And that's about it. So if you guys, here's one thing. So if you guys are new here, if I'm going over this strategy and you guys want me to provide, my analysis on a specific pair, you can let me know so I can stop and look at it. The reason why I'm not doing that for every single pair is because we have a ton of pairs to look at right here. I have to mark up all of these pairs. So we've already been in this webinar for about 30 minutes. So I try to get off this webinar within 2 hours because that's a pretty long time to be on live. But if you guys want me to stop and take my time on analyzing these pairs, just let me know so I can stop and, give you guys a deeper dig into the position, because I can turn on the momentum indicator and then I can show you here that we have a buy momentum, right? So since price broke this area right here, I would have taken a long position, maybe to this next zone, and pretty much ride that up there because I'm anticipating it to push up to that next zone. However, there's other factors that play into the market analysis, because this is a huge move right here. This was about a 150 pip move right here, right? 160 pip move. So after this big move, one of two things can happen. Price can either continue back upwards or it can pull back down to fill this gap, because this thing gapped up way big compared to how price normally moves. So price normally moves only like 30, 40 pips. This has moved up 160 pips. So one of two things can happen. And that's why in this situation, I probably wouldn't take this trade. And I would wait for it to stabilize, because I would just wait for it to come down right here, because this is what might happen. If it doesn't want to fill the gap, it might come down to here and then it can shoot right back up. So if it does that, I don't want to get caught in a buy if it's going to pull back like that, because then you're going to get stopped out, because this is a big move from up here to down here. Sorry guys, measuring tool. From here to down here is going to be like 100 pips. So that's a huge risk for you to take, just to go off a hunch because you want to chase the money. Like, this is why I don't fall for FOMO, because a lot of people want to FOMO into this trade, and they come and take a buy right here, and then what happens is it comes straight down and stops them out. So that's why you have to be patient. Trading is a game of patience, and a lot of people don't understand that. But once you guys do understand that, it makes a huge difference in your trading game, and it'll open up a ton of opportunities because you'll be able to take more trades more confidently. All right, cool. Spencer wants me to take a look at GJ. So when I get there, I'll take some time. But yeah, let's keep moving down. So we've looked at AJ right here. Move on to odd NZD. Going to delete all of these off the chart. Turn on the K2SR indicator. Zoom out from here. To this upper zone. This zone right here. This zone right here. Zone right there. and this lower zone right here. All right, cool. So I'm going to give you this zone that is right here because price is currently at this, this lower zone. So let me check the momentum indicator, and we do have a sell momentum there. So what I see happening here is it's probably going to come down further. It's probably going to continue dropping. So right here, the upper zone is going to be 1.07238. And this lower zone down here is going to be 1.06009. Sierra said, I have FOMO today, but I'm working on it. Yeah, no, I don't blame you because there was some big moves across pretty much all pairs. So if I did see this right here, like you saw this big, huge jump up, and most people aren't trading on the 10 minutes. So if you're trading like on the 30 minute and you see this huge move, I could already see a bunch of people entering buys, and that's the problem because you enter a buy and then it only pushes up so far before it comes crashing down. So if you enter the buy like way up here, then you probably would have gone screwed because this is already nearly it's like 12,000 pip move, or no. Yeah, it is a 12,000 pip move. That's a huge move. And then it just comes crashing back down about, 5,000 pips right here. So like I mentioned, it's really a game of patience, guys. It's not something that you learn overnight. It's something that you learn after trading for, so long. Like I've been trading for so long where I don't even, if I miss a trade, I'm like, all right, it's cool because I'm going to catch the next one. I'm not like, oh, I need to hop into this just so that I can like catch the move that's going to keep going, but it ends up reversing on you. Let's see. RX said London US 30 would have hit CP. Oh yeah, for sure. RX. So I was looking at that earlier. The London entry was like right here at midnight, and then that buy entry right there. So if you took a normal entry for like 1,500 pips, it literally would have hit full TP in, let's see. It took some time, but it was pretty quick. Like it went for about 2 hours. So in about 2 hours, it would have hit full TP. And then if you put no target, you literally could have just rode this all the way up and just moved your stop loss as it continued to move. Yeah, unfortunately, I was asleep during that time, and there was too much news in the morning. So that's why I wouldn't. Business Paying said, can we enter odd NZD? If your strategy satisfies it, then I mean, you could, but there's no entry right now. So that's why I wouldn't enter it. Because so I did give that analysis that I think it's going to come down, but that doesn't mean it's going to come down for sure. And there's no entry right now because this previous candle was a green candle. So this candle has to break below here and close as a red bearish candle for there to be an entry. But you shouldn't just enter a trade just because. You have to take trades with strategy. You don't just trade with emotion, because if you trade with emotion here and you don't wait for this candle to close below, say you take a sell and you're inside the zone right here, right? And then it rejects off the zone, it's going to hit your stop loss. So you guys got to trade smart and don't just take trades off emotion because you think it's going to go somewhere. Make sure that you have some type of strategy or some type of plan when analyzing a trade or when entering a trade, so that you're actually entering a trade that's actually valid and you're not just entering it because you think it's going to go down, because what you think doesn't matter. Because see, like if you look at this current candle right here, it's not guaranteed that it's going to close below. If it closes above it like it did right here, it can shoot right back up, because you can see it's been having some trouble trying to break this zone over here. And this entry right here wouldn't count because this entry came on November 8th, which was yesterday when the market just opened. So there's obviously been some stabilization happening as the market's fully open for the week. So yeah, see, if you just look at this pair here, Business Paying, I mean this candle, it's not coming down yet. So until it breaks below it, then you could have an entry, but I wouldn't just enter it just because. But yeah, so let me keep going. And see, Rick said, so with this zone strategy, we just wait until price close below or above the zones. So let me just, I'll show you guys an example because I don't want you to get confused, Arik. So I'll go to like a previous pair that I was looking at, like Oddcad. Okay, so like right here, you would have to wait for, let's put the requirements up here. Past K2SR zone to confirm direction of momentum. So it's real simple, Arik. Basically, what you do is you just need to confirm the break and close. So you have that part proper. You have that. However, you don't have this right here where you have to confirm the direction, because you're not, just because price breaks below here, you're not going to take a sell, right? Because momentum is going upwards, and it'd make no sense for you to go against momentum. So basically right here, we confirm the break and close past K2SR, right here. So once we have that, we confirm the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a buy signal. So obviously we're only going to take buys. So if that happens, then you can take a buy entry right here to the next zone, which would have been right there, right? Or you could have, pushed even further for about 40 pips, or below it for about 20 pips. So this would be an entry right here. Vice versa, if you're taking a sell, you would have confirmed a break and close past K2SR zone towards the bottom. So right here, price broke and closed below it. The direction of momentum was coming down because we have a sell signal. And then we confirm, and then after that, you can enter on the open of the falling candle. So right here, you enter a short position, and you pretty much write it to the next zone down here for a 50 pip win. And that's pretty much how the strategy works out. It's real simple, but I feel like a lot of people overcomplicate it, because what they do is they take their knowledge from, learning other courses or learning other type of strategies, which is completely fine if it works with the specific strategy. However, most of the time people just try to throw in random things and don't follow the very basic requirements here, and then they end up losing the trade because they added something that shouldn't have been added. Because the thing with trading is you guys got to keep it simple. A lot of people want to overcomplicate it. And if you learn trading from like certain, other people, they want to make it so complicated where you feel like you can't even do it yourself, and you really need that person to do it for you. But, for here, how hard is this? It's like one requirement: confirm or break and close. We confirm the break and close here, confirm the direction, momentum. There's literally only two things to look at. You confirm the break and close right here. You confirm the direction. You enter on the next candle right here, and then you write it to the next zone, which is right here. So this would have been a win, easy win right there. But yeah, so yeah, Art, do you understand? Art said you can just call me Eric. My name is hard to pronounce. All right, Art, if Eric works better, I could do that too. But yeah, did you get that, Art, or Eric, whichever one you want to be called? I just want to make sure you get it, because I know that with you, sometimes you like to make some variations to it, which make it a little harder for you to follow the specific strategy. But it's really simple. You really have to just follow the very specifics. Oh, cool. So we got some new COVID news. Sorry guys, I'm just checking my news real quick. We got the new COVID vaccine, 90% effective. Yeah, it's saying to watch UJ, AU, and AJ. So it's going to keep shooting up, it looks like. Looks like money's moving away from the safe haven currencies, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna see. Arik said the indicator will do all the zones automatically, but we have to learn how to. Yeah, Arik. So basically, the zones. I think we went over this before, right? So basically, what happens is, I'll go to a new pair because I've already drawn the zones for those. Basically, the way that the zones work is this is what the chart would look like with nothing on it, right? So if you add on the K2SR version 2 indicator, it's going to create the zones on the chart for you. But if you want to make it a little cleaner, because you can see here it's a little messy and it's kind of hard to see. If you want to make it cleaner, you just draw your own rectangles over it like that. So it'll be filled in, because for some people, it's kind of hard for them to see the zones if they're not filled in, right? So if you just draw your rectangles over the zones, and then you turn off the K2SR indicator, you can see how much easier it is to look at. And you can see that these zones have been tested time and time again. So it's been tested in August, it's been tested in July, it's been tested in June, it's been tested in, it's been tested so many times before that it's going to probably respect those zones once it reaches them again in the future. So right here, we don't have an upper zone. like I mentioned, in order to draw those upper zones, we're going to have to go on the higher time frame, like the 8-hour, and then draw those zones up there from here. So for AUD/USD, the upper zone right here, let me go on the 4-hour. The upper zone right here where price just rejected from is going to be 0.73278. And this lower zone down here is going to be 0.72433. So those are the two zones right there for that. And let me see your second question, Ark. Your second question was, but we have to learn how to put lot size versus the, not necessarily, Ark. So if you want to determine your lot size, just use a lot size calculator. So you can go on, I think I've sent this to you before. Let me send you this again. Baby pips. So, I mean, there's a ton of ways to do it. You know, if you're trading on forex.com, then you have the function built in. But if you want to do it yourself, I'm going to put it in the chat right here so that you guys can see it. Actually, I can just show it to you on here as well. Let me smooth this over right here. So if you go to, you could just Google like baby pips and then position size calculator. And then if you want to figure out, you know, what your lot size is going to be, you just pretty much put in your currency, you put in your account balance, your risk percentage. So say if you have a $10,000 account, your risk percentage is what, 5%? Your stop loss is probably like 60 pips, right? I'm just making stuff up right now. It's going to tell you that this is a lot size that you should be using in order to use proper risk. So it just really depends on, you know, on what you're trading, if you want to determine the actual position size. Let's see, no more 9 to 5 work. Said US 30 is moving so slow. And pull up the, yeah, it is, because the problem with this has moved up so much that people are scared. So a lot of people are pulling out of the market. So it dipped back. So people made the profit right here. They pulled out, then it dipped down, right? Then at this point, it's like people are still trying to figure out if people are trying to buy the dip right here because they're anticipating it to shoot right back up, or if they anticipate it to keep dropping further. So if it keeps dropping further, people are just going to keep selling off, right? And it's just a risky time right now to take this trade because it could literally go in either direction. So that's why it's moving slow, because there's no volatility right now. People aren't trading it because they're worried. People are just waiting. They're doing what we're doing. They're waiting to see where price is going to go, because it can literally either continue back up and continue, or it can keep dropping further. So that's why it's moving slow, because people are uncertain. They don't know which way it's going to go. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. And then hopefully we can catch that ride with it. And Arik said, do US 30 15 lots would be able to trade one Forex? Yeah, Arik, check out that Stinu app that Spencer and Edward just mentioned. And it's on Android too, because I think you have an Android as well, Arik. So I think that could be beneficial to you, and it'll be easier for you to determine, you know, your lot size. The 15 lot size is if you're trading an E-mini. So like a 15 lot size is going to be equivalent to 1.5 if you're trading a standard lot or a non-E-mini. So that's the difference between it. But you should probably get the exact position size for like your risk. And you have to make sure that you're measuring it properly. You got to make sure that it's either a standard lot or an E-mini, because it's going to make a huge difference with regard to the size for it. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a seat. I'm getting tired. I'm standing. Let's turn off this light too. All right, cool. So that helps with my glare a little bit. Take a seat right now. Man, it's cold over here, guys. I don't know where you guys are located, but in California, it doesn't really get cold. So I'm wearing a sweater. I never wear a sweater. It's just chilling in my office right now, so I'm just wearing it to stay warm. But yeah, guys, so let's keep going. You know, I'm gonna keep going back to US 30 real quick. You know, in between, just to see if we have an entry coming. But until then, we're probably going to keep going down the chart analysis. So Ark said, I really think you can call US 30 live scalping signals like this. It'd be instantaneous. I got back to break even on FTMO. What do you think? Yeah, Ark, I mean, maybe. I was thinking about doing that, but here's the problem. Like, even if I'm calling it live, people are still not going to be able to catch it. So you're better off learning the strategy yourself and just applying it versus me. And the thing is, you can't depend on me forever. You know, being a professional signal copier is only going to get you so far. You have to learn how to trade on your own versus just copying my trades. Because obviously, you guys know that I can trade, but you guys can act as quick as I can. So the thing is, if I'm entering, so just for example, if I'm entering a sell right here, I'll probably be in and out of the trade within a few seconds if I'm scalping it, right? Because I'm taking a big lot size and I'm getting in and out. If I'm telling you to sell ARK, you're gonna have to go through your phone. You're gonna be like, fumbling through your buttons and figuring out how to put in a sell. And by the time you try to enter that sell, I'm gonna be out of the trade already in profit. And that's why I can't really scalp live like that, because the thing is, I'm putting the trades in on my phone. I'm not putting them in on the computer because I'm trading on MT4, but I don't have MT4 on my Mac. So you're not going to be able to see me putting the trades live on the screen since I'm doing it on my phone. And that's why I can't really scalp live like that. Like, I can scalp live and call it for you, but you guys aren't going to be able to see what I'm doing on my actual phone. But I mean, that's probably an idea to dive into later. But even if I do hold a scalping room, it's only going to be for advanced traders. It's not going to be for people that don't know what they're doing, because I don't want people to think they're a pro already, after just watching me trade and try to do exactly what I'm doing and end up blowing their account. Because that's the last thing I want for anyone, to happen to anyone. I literally want people to, Ark said, we will hear your voice though. I know, Ark, but we've talked before, Ark. Like, you're not, until you're able to move as quickly as I can when I trade, it's not going to be beneficial to you, because like I mentioned, if I tell you to sell, you're going to be fumbling through your phone trying to figure out how to put in a sell. Until you're able to even scalp on your own, you're not going to be able to copy my scalp trades, because I just move too fast. I don't even think. I literally just enter a trade, I exit the trade, I make profit. It's not like, oh, I'm entering a trade, Art, it's time for you to put in the sell, because by the time I tell you that, you're still like figuring out how to put in the trade. And I just want to protect your account, because I don't want you to enter trades late, because that's what happens with a lot of people. A lot of people see me take a trade and they enter late. Even for the normal intraday trades, people will enter the trades way too late, like an hour late, and they've already missed out on a ton of profit. So, I mean, it's something that I'll look into later, but I think you should probably focus on learning how to trade on your own before you just copy. Because the thing is, I don't want you to blow your FTMO. We've had this talk already. You've gone back and forth. You revived that FTMO account. And I want you to be successful in trading. I don't want you to be gambling, because literally, if you're just scalping and you don't know what you're doing, you're just gambling. You're not trading. So, we'll work towards that. I know we've talked about that before, and it's something that you want me to go over. But I'm not really going to push that, because once you start making a lot of money scalping, that's all you're going to want to do. And the thing is, a lot of people feel like they know how to scalp, but they're literally just hitting buy and sell and winning off luck. So we'll go over that at some point, but I think right now is probably not the best time for us to be looking into that, because you can just make just enough money just trading the daily US 30. Like you talked about right here for the London entry, if you took this buy, you would have had full TP easily. And it's easier for you to just increase your lot size versus taking so many trades, because if you take so many trades, it's just going to increase your risk to losing money. But okay, so I went off on a tangent for a little too long there. I'm going to keep going down the chart analysis, because I know a lot of people here are just here for the chart analysis. So let me just get through this, and I'm going to keep bouncing back and forth. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. All right, so right here for Cad Chf, delete that. Naked chart, turn on the K2SR. And then let's zone these out. So we got this zone right here. So down here, we can kind of make these big zones because price is so far away from it. I don't anticipate it to come down this far, you know, within this week. It's so far up here. So we got these lined up right here. We can get that upper zone. Let's draw this right here. And then on the higher time frame, if there's nothing on the 8-hour, let's go up to the daily. There's nothing there. Go on the weekly. So price pushed up super far this morning for Cad Chf. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. So this is the problem, because the thing is, we have COVID news that came out. The problem with the COVID news is that it's like super good news, and I'm sure that you guys, if you guys have been trading with us for a while, you guys can see that this can easily, if they can say it's a false alarm and the vaccine isn't like 90% done, this can come crashing down super quickly. So that's why I'd be careful with these specific trade types. But yeah, so looking at Cad Chf right here, this lower zone is going to be at 0.70098, and this upper zone up here is going to be at 0.71245. So those are the two zones within Cad Chf right here. But like I mentioned, it's going to be a risky asset to trade right now because there's a lot of uncertainty whether it's going to continue pushing up or if it's going to correct back down. Because the thing is, this specific candle has pushed up nearly 120 plus pips. For Cad Chf, that's a huge move, because normally you can see right here, Cad Chf only moves about like 10-20 pips a day. It barely even moves. So this huge move is going to cause some sort of uncertainty in the market until it's stabilized or determine which direction it's going to continue pushing. So now we're going to move on to Cad Jpy. I'm going to delete all this stuff. And so the reason why this shot up right here was mostly because of the COVID news, guys. So I don't know if you guys realize that, JPY is a safe haven currency. So the thing is, when there's uncertainty in the market, people are going to put money into the JPY, and then price is going to go down. Because obviously, if you guys are familiar with how price moves, if price goes down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first currency. Vice versa, if price is going up, it's going to indicate that this first currency is stronger than the second currency. So the reason why this shot up right here is because the COVID news was positive. Since it was positive, there's certainty in the world, right? People are having hope that, COVID can be resolved. So in that situation, people pull their money from the JPY and they put it back into their normal currency, which is like the Canadian dollar in this case. So in this situation, prices shot up. Plus, on top of that, we sort of have a U.S. president in mind. That's, the president-elect Joe Biden. So that's why people are taking money away from the safe haven currency. So if you look at all the JPYs here, they're all bullish, right? Because people are pulling money from the safe haven currency, the JPY, and they're moving it into their own currency, the CAD or the CHF. Oh, so this is a different, because this is different because both of these are safe haven currencies. The Swiss francs is safe haven currency, and the JPY is a safe haven currency. So there's a lot of uncertainty here as to whichever is going to be moving up or moving down. So I'd probably stay away from this because this is going to be too risky. But if you look at the other JPYs, you can see here that, like I mentioned, people are pulling money from the JPY, the safe haven currency, and putting it back into their currency, the euro. So if you look down everything, it's the same thing all around. For AJ, CJ, GJ, EJ, NJ, UJ, same thing. See, same exact thing for every single pair. And right now, like I mentioned, when I was just talking to you guys, there was more updates for the COVID vaccine. So that's why they shot up another push. But I wouldn't chase it. Me personally, I wouldn't chase this because, like I mentioned, this can come crashing down at any point if there's some sort of false alarm with regard to that COVID news. So I wouldn't chase it. I would just wait to see how price reacts to it, because price can either continue up further or it can drop down. There's only one of two ways that can go. It's not going to go sideways, or it might go sideways temporarily before it shoots up in either direction. So that's like my little explanation of safe haven currencies. But okay, so I was on Cad Jpy. Sorry guys, I always go off track like that. But okay, so let me turn on the K2SR indicator. Right here, Cad Jpy, I'm going to draw this upper zone right here. Draw this zone right here. Draw this zone right. Man, this is such a messy pair. I'm just gonna draw some big zones right here because these are kind of irrelevant. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're irrelevant because the price is so far away. We're not anticipating it to drop all the way down here anytime soon. Well, me personally, I don't expect it to. So we'll just draw these zones down here. If we need to make changes during the week, we can. But yeah, so, you know, this is just the weekly chart analysis just to give you guys the rejection points and the zones. But we're going to have our weekly webinar still on Tuesday and Thursday. So even if we don't cover the specific pair you want me to look at today, I'm still going to be going over this during the week. So don't worry if we don't cover whatever you want to look at this week, because I'll still be going over it throughout the week. I might even start doing this daily, these morning sessions, just so that we can cover, you know, anything you guys are looking at during the New York session, which is one of the faster moving sessions. Plus, so we can look at US 30 as well, because this is like everyone's favorite. So I'll probably start doing this. I'll try to start doing it daily if I can possibly, but if not, we're still going to be having the bi-weekly webinars on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But yeah, looking at Cad Jpy right now, it's in between these two zones. This upper zone is going to be 81.496, and this lower zone down here is going to be 80.890. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this can either continue upwards or it can pull back down, you know, depending on what happens with the new COVID news that was just released. So that's Cad Jpy right there. Move on to the next one, Chf Jpy. Delete those zones. Let's run the K2SR indicator. And then let's draw these zones. So you guys can see that I draw these zones pretty quickly. So if you guys get used to it, you guys can literally draw your zones within maybe a few seconds. I don't even think I take more than a minute to draw these zones on the chart. And once you have the zones on the chart, it gives you such a big upper hand in the market because you're able to know where price is likely to reject from. See, the problem with a lot of traders is they take trades and they don't realize that they're near a zone. So if they get near the zone and it reverses on them, they're like, damn, if they just took the time to draw these zones out, like I just did this right here in about like 10 seconds. If you guys take the time to draw these zones out, it'll protect you from taking a bad position. Like right here, if you took this buy, it's already rejected off the zone twice. So it's probably going to come back down at this point. So, you know, it gives you that upper hand when you are trading. So this upper zone right here is going to be 115.719. And this lower zone down here is going to be 115.368 for Chf Jpy. Let's move on to the next one. Euro odd. So this is the position that I sent you guys last night. I'm not sure if anyone else took this trade, but I did share this with you guys mostly in the premium. So if I'm looking at the premium right here, I sent you guys this trade where I sent out the news and I told you guys, you know, if you guys wanted to take a risk, this trade was available right here, right? The euro odd. So if you guys did take this trade, it's dropping right here. It would have been nearly at full TP, and it's about to hit full TP for 85 pips in a little bit. It looks like it's about to drop down even further. But yeah, this looks good right here. Sorry, let me just leave that on there. And let me just check the zones, because the thing is I drew these zones yesterday already, so they might be exactly the same. And if they are, there's no reason for me to redraw these zones on the chart because they're the same thing. So this isn't the same thing. I'm gonna delete that. But for this one, I'm gonna move this down right here. Pull this up right here. Fix this right here a little bit. And this one down here, it's a little smaller. So this is the cool thing about drawing your zones every week. Sometimes you don't even have to redraw the zones. I was just showing you guys an example of how I draw the zones, but the zones are usually the same as last week. You just got to make small adjustments and you pretty much have the zones set up already. So these are the zones for euro odd. This upper zone right here is going to be 1.63082. And this lower zone down here is going to be 1.61459. And it looks like it's about to hit full TP in a little bit. So that's it for EA right there. Let's move on to Eurocad. See if the zones are the same. If they are, then no need for us to redraw them. So these are a little messy. I'm just going to go and redraw the entire thing. So let me zoom out from here. So in a situation like this where the zones are so close, you can just draw a big zone to cover all the zones to avoid getting caught in any bad trades. So we got this lower zone right here. And then let's move on to this higher time frame to get the off. Sorry guys, I was on the wrong time frame. So let me just redo this again. I was on the 4 hour. It's like no wonder the zones were so close. All right, cool. So we got those zones right there. We need a lower zone. So I'm gonna turn on the 8 hour. Nothing right there. Go on the daily. All right, this thing's got a long way to go. All right, cool. So we got the zones right here. This upper zone is going to be at 1.53560, and this lower zone down here is going to be at 1.51036. Let's see, velocity said, so for the 100K account, you got to make 10% a month. So 30 days, taking 20 trades at 500. A trade would equal 10,000 because we're risking 1% a trade and a 1-to-1 risk reward. You're only making what you risk anyway to bypass. Bypass as in smaller stop to increase lot, or make more, I mean. Velocity. So you should never adjust your stop loss. Your stop loss should always be where it's supposed to be. One way to bypass your risk reward is to not put a target. Instead of having a target, you just move your stop loss up as it moves up further. You get what I'm saying? So basically for US 30 right here, if you took this London entry right here, like we were discussing earlier, you could have not put a stop loss there. I mean, you could have not put a target, right? So if you didn't put a target, as price continues to move up, you just move your stop loss and profit. And then you just keep adjusting your stop loss as it continues to move up. So instead of just locking in this 1500 pips right here, because this is where you would have hit full TP, right? Instead of hitting full TP right here, you just keep moving your stop loss up as it continues to move up so that you have unlimited profit potential. But for something like that, you have to be actively managing your trade. I'm sure you can do it because we've talked about this before. You actually want to learn, you actually do what you're supposed to do. For a lot of people, they don't want to actively manage your trade. A lot of people don't want to put in the work where you have to actually adjust your stop loss to maximize your risk. To eliminate your risk and maximize your profit potential. So if you can actively just move your stop loss as it continues to move up and have no target here, then you can literally reach, maybe like 1,001 right here, or even higher, depending on what you decide to trade. And this works for every asset. It's not just US 30. It works for any trade. You can literally put no target and just adjust your stop loss as it moves up using the increments that I use in the exit strategy. But yeah, like I mentioned, it's going to take work to do that, but obviously you can break it that way. But also for the US 30 strategy, the win rate's so high, so it doesn't really matter. Your risk reward is going to be higher regardless. If you look at the results for US 30, let's see. Yeah, so if you look at all the US 30 trades right here, it's 68 to 16. So it doesn't matter if you adjust your stop loss or you just let it run to full TP. At the end of the month, you're going to end up in profit regardless, because every month has ended in profit so far. you know, from May, June, July, August, September, October. The only reason why people blow accounts when trading US 30 is because they trade it without, you know, the proper capital required. So it just really, it really depends on how you manage the trade. And there's a lot of ways to do it, but I think this would probably be the easiest way. Put no target and just move your stop loss and profit as it moves up. But that just requires more work. And a lot of people don't even want to do the bare minimum when trading. So it's just really up to you if you want to do that. That's basically how I do it as well. I usually don't put a target. I just move my stop loss up as it moves up. And then if price ends up pulling back and hits my stop loss, that's cool because I still get stopped out in profit because I've already eliminated my risk at that point. Mersabah said, is TradingView better than MT4 on cell phone or vice versa? So me personally, I'm biased because if you compare TradingView to MT4, it's like comparing a 2020 computer to a 1990 computer. You know, MT4 is super outdated. Most people use MT4 because their brokers, that's the only platform that the broker lets you trade on. But you know, TradingView is obviously way more advanced in comparison to MT4 or MT5. So, I mean, it's pretty clear that TradingView is better than MT4. But if your broker only lets you use MT4, then you can still do what I do. You know, you chart on TradingView, and then you place the MT4 trade like on your phone, or you can put it on the MT4 app if you can have it on your computer. I personally can't put it on my Mac, so that's why I don't do it. But it's not very hard. You can just do your charting on TradingView, and then you can enter the trade on your phone. But yeah, I mean, you can play around with it, figure out what works best for you. But that's how I do it. So if you want to do it that way, it works perfectly fine. And I'm still very profitable trading that way as well. But okay, so let's keep going back down the chart. Sorry, guys, I keep getting sidetracked. I just wanted to check on US 30 right here. It's still dropping, so I don't think it's going to come up anytime soon. It's only 8 o'clock, so I'd probably give it maybe 2 or 3 more hours before we call it a day and we don't take US 30 for the day. However, I mean, I don't know. This could literally do anything at this point. Velocity said, so if you did Forex and you were doing FTMO, you would risk max 1,000 a trade. You wouldn't scale it. Sorry, Velocity. Let me read your question again. So if you did Forex and you were doing FTMO, you would risk 1,000 max a trade no matter what. You wouldn't scale through profit. I mean, yeah, no, there's for the US 30 trade, the win rate's so high. There's no reason. I mean, obviously this would be a reason right here, right? To adjust your stop loss. But how often does this happen? This is like once in a blue moon. You're better off just taking your profit rather than risking it, because you can see it comes up and then it comes down often. So if you were to do that same strategy for this, you'd probably come up with less profit rather than just going for the full TP. Because if you enter this buy right here, so your full TP would have been right here at like 150, but then it comes back down. So you probably would have gotten stopped out with less profit if you weren't able to adjust your stop loss, accordingly. So for FTMO, I just like what I mentioned is for one of the positions, I let it run to full TP, and then the other position, I adjust the stop loss as it moves. And since our win rate is so high, 68 wins, that counts as two trades for me. So instead of me just hitting like 1 TP, I'm hitting 1 TP and a half because I'm moving my stop loss for one position, but for the other position, I'm letting it run to full TP. So there's a lot of different ways there's a lot, like all the exit strategies are explained in the course. It just depends on which one you want to apply. But obviously I always recommend the simple exit strategy because a lot of people don't want to do any actual work when it comes to managing the trade. And that's probably the easiest one because you just adjust your stop loss as price moves in profit. But like I mentioned, it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to actually put in the work in actively managing their trade. So if you want to actively manage your trade, you can do that. But me personally, I'm doing like 100 things at once. I'm answering questions in the chat. I'm trading on my own. I'm calling signals. I'm doing webinars. I'm doing mentoring calls. I'm literally busy all day. So I can't actively manage it 100% of the time. So that's why for FTMO, I just let it run. You know, if I wasn't doing all this stuff and I was just trading on my own like I was doing previously, I could easily manage it. But I'm doing 100 things at once, and I'm happy with taking full TP versus, you know, having to actively manage it. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. Me personally, I just run 2 positions. I run one where I adjust the stop loss and move it up as I go, or and then on top of that, I also let the other one run to full TP. So then I end up hitting like double profit or 1.5 profit almost every time. But yeah, so let's get back to the, sorry guys, I'm gonna get back to the chart analysis, because I know a lot of people here just for the chart analysis. And then I'll try to answer your guys' questions as I continue to go on further. Marissa said, okay, cool, bro. Thanks for all the time you put into this. Yeah, definitely, Marissa. Like, you know, for me, like I mentioned, for pretty much every webinar, you know, I'm doing this to benefit everyone else. You know, me teaching you guys doesn't really benefit me all that much monetary wise, because I could literally just trade on my own and make a ton of profit just scalping. But, you know, obviously I want to help you guys. So I'm doing this webinar for free. This is all, you know, nobody's paying for this webinar. And I'm literally just helping you guys because I want to. Because I could literally just trade on my own and not give you guys these secrets that I'm doing, you know, for my own trading. But, you know, where's the fun in that? So that's why I'm here giving you guys all this advice. And, you know, it's really up to you guys if you guys want to take my advice or not. You guys have seen my track record. You know, you guys obviously know that I know how to trade. So if you guys want to use the indicators or use my strategies, you know, you guys are more than welcome. But like I mentioned before, this isn't required. If you guys want to learn the hard way and learn everything on your own, you guys can do that. But I'm literally giving you guys the blueprint here of how I trade. And you guys have access to all of my indicators I've created, all my strategies I created. So if you guys want to follow it, you guys are more than welcome to profit with me. But if not, I mean, I'm also here to help you guys as well if you guys don't want to. But okay, this upper zone is going to be 1.07926, and this lower zone right here is going to be 1.07629. It's got a long way to go too. So that's it for Euro CHF. Let me keep going down further. Yeah, guys, sorry. I just need to kind of zoom through this because I'm getting a ton of messages on my phone and on everything. People are asking me questions right now about specifics. So let me just zoom through this because a lot of people just want the zones right now. All right, for EG right here, it's on the K2SR. And EG is always a messy pair to trade. So I personally don't really trade it that much. All right, got that right there. All right, this one looks way too messy for us to even want to trade, but I'm gonna give you guys parameters anyways. If you guys want to trade EG, this lower zone right here is going to be 0.89836, and this upper zone right here is going to be 0.90070 for Euro GBP. Let's keep moving down further. EJ right here. Let me see if the zones are the same. So I just want to make sure I get through all of this. And like I mentioned before, guys, if I don't cover everything you guys want to cover, you know, no worries, because I'm still going to have the weekly webinar or, you know, the bi-weekly webinar with you guys. So this isn't the last time I'm going to be covering these pairs with you. And right now, just because of these, you know, huge movements in price, it's probably not the best time to trade anyways. Because like I mentioned, it's going to be a breeding ground for manipulation, whether price is going to continue up or it's going to correct back down. All right, cool. So for here for EJ, The upper zone right here is going to be 124.731, and this lower zone down here is 124.263. And that's where price currently is right now. Let's keep moving on to the next one. Let's see, Velocity said last thing, just a suggestion, because people are in different time zones and sessions. If you can put on your K2 website which pairs are. So I think that's an issue that a lot of people spend too much time on Velocity. It doesn't really matter which, it depends on what time frame you're trading on. So obviously if you're trading on, intraday or on the, like if you're trading on the 1 hour or 4 hour, it's not going to matter whether what pair you're trading, because it's going to come to a point where volatility is going to pick up for that pair. So like say if you're trading on the 4 hour, right? Each session only lasts like 2 or 3 candles. You're not going to hit full TP in 2 or 3 candles. You're going to be holding this for, X amount of time. Like right here for EN, right? For EN, this entry candle would have opened up at 2 p.m. And then it literally would have pushed down up until 2 a.m. London time. So I think a lot of people put too much emphasis on that specific thing that you just mentioned, trading specific pairs during specific sessions and time zones, but it doesn't really matter unless you're scalping. Scalping is going to be the main difference. But if you're scalping, you already know what you're going to be scalping. You only scalp like 1 or 2 pairs. You're not going to be scalping. I'm trying to think of a random pair. You're not going to be scalping like EG during Asia session, because obviously the Euro and the GBP aren't Asia currencies or Australian currencies. Vice versa. If you're going to be trading, let's see. Trying to think of like some pairs that just obviously don't fit a currency zone. I'm just trying to get the point across that it doesn't matter, because a lot of people try to focus on only trading the JPY pairs during Asia session, but in reality, you could be trading like EU or something, like a major pair, and they still move during sessions that they're not open. So I think you should just get away from that mindset. Where you think that you might have to trade during a specific session or time zone, session during your time zone, because it's not really going to make a big difference. And if someone really wants to figure out what the time zone they're trading on, it's super easy. Just Google it, but I don't think it really matters, because if you're following, I'm just trying to show you if there's so you can see that, so Euro NZD, okay, we got a US 30 signal right there. All right, we got 10 minutes on that candle, so I'm gonna wait for that, but let me just keep going down this velocity. So basically right here, this is EN, and then, or I'm gonna go to another pair that doesn't really move very much. Now EG doesn't even move at all. It's a slow moving pair, like AUD USD. So for AUD USD, it doesn't necessarily always move during its time zone, like period. So like check this out right here. So this was at 1400 hours. So this is when the Aussie opened, right? Like look at the movement right here from the Aussie movement until the Aussie close. It only moved like 30 pips, right? And then if you're looking at a certain other time, like check this out here. This is at midnight. Midnight, the Aussie is closed. There's no Aussie market open and there's no US market open, but it still moves way more than it even moved during the Aussie session. So that's what I'm trying to say, that it doesn't really matter when you trade it. It just matters what's going on during that time. So there's probably news during this time, or there was no news during this time, but it was still its active session. But it's still going to move regardless as to whatever session that you're trading on. But yeah, okay, cool. Yes, the velocity said he got me. All right, cool. So I'm looking at a US 30 right now. We did get that buy signal, so I'm going to just mark it up right here. And I'll come back to take a look in a few minutes. It's only 8:31, so this candle closes in about 8 minutes. I have about 8 minutes for me to come back and take a look. But I am going to get my phone ready to enter this trade if it does close. All right, so it's not, I'll just leave it alone because it's moving slow, but I'm just gonna have it marked up so we'll be ready to go if we come down to that. But okay, so sorry guys, I can't remember if I called EN. I don't think I did. So let me just take these off, turn on the K2SR indicator, and then draw these zones. So we got this zone up here. We got this zone right here. We got this zone over here. And then we got this zone. There. This zone right there. And then we also need a lower zone. So we'll go on the 8-hour. Dang. HUD Secretary Ben Carson test positive for coronavirus. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, there's a lot of things that will just randomly pop up in the world, in the news. And that update was from CNBC. So they're probably anticipating that to affect the market because I mean, they found it important enough to share it as a news alert. So looking at EN right here, this lower zone is going to be at 1.72226, and this upper zone right here is going to be 1.74421. So that's it for EN right there. Keep moving forward. I'm just going to try to zoom through this, guys, because I'm getting a ton of messages from people that just want me to post up the zone. Sorry, guys, if I'm like keeping you guys waiting. But I definitely want to give time to everyone who has questions. So I'm gonna try to accommodate for all you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna zoom through these zones real quick because there's a lot of people that just want the zones. And then I'll take time answering some questions towards the end if there's any more questions. But I'll, in between time, I'll definitely stop and answer questions as well. So I want to make sure everyone's fully prepared for this trading week, because this week's probably going to be a little crazy. I mean, you guys already saw how it moved this morning. We can probably anticipate it to move again like that even further. That was a huge drop right here for EU. Damn, so the US dollar is super strong right now. For one, we have a president. For two, or I guess we sort of have a president. And then for two, the COVID news as well. So it's doing us pretty well. So for Euro USD, this upper zone right here is going to be 1.18297. And this lower zone right here is going to be 1.18080. That's it for Euro USD right there. Move on to GA. It's 8:35 right now. We have about 5 minutes until the US 30 candle closes. So I'll keep looking at that. Go ahead and zoom out of here real quick. Close this. Turn on the K2SR indicator. And then I will draw these zones for you guys. Oops, close that right there. That one. And just a reminder, guys, if you guys have access to the K2 indicators, I'm still doing mentoring sessions for you guys. And if you guys haven't had them yet, you guys should probably have them pretty soon, because I'm probably not going to be available to have them for a while, because we're having a ton of new members joining, and I'm going to be really busy teaching them. So if you guys have any questions and want to have a mentoring session with me, regarding the K2 strategies, just feel free to let me know. and then we can schedule a meeting with you. All right, so right here, this upper zone is going to be 1.81106, and this lower zone right here is going to be 1.80323. It might drop down even further, but if it does close above this zone, those are going to be the two zones in between current price. Let's move on to the next one, GCAD. Delete that. K2SR indicator, zoom out. And then we draw these zones. And you guys can see that I just went over like 20 pairs right now. It's super simple. You know, it's not rocket science. It's really easy to learn. And that's pretty much how I created these K2 indicators, for you guys to be able to see exactly what I see and visualize it on your chart. Because the thing is, I can do this without the indicators, but I'm doing that so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at without me giving out the secret, obviously, you know. Let's see. So right here we got sorry, I don't know, I was looking at that. But price is currently within this zone right here. This upper zone is going to be 1.70539, and this lower zone down here is going to be 1.69908. So those are the two points of rejection. Price is currently in the zone right here, so it might come down, test the zone, and then possibly reject off it. But who knows? You know, we'll have to wait and see how price reacts to that. Price might not even close within the zone. So if price is still below the zone, if it's above, I mean, if it closes above here, it's going to have to retest it again. But yeah, those are the two zones for GCAD, GBP CHF right here. Delete this, turn on the K2SR indicator, zoom out. This is normally a pretty messy pair. So don't be worried if you guys run into these pairs where they're super messy and it's hard to really figure out where the zones are. If you guys do see pairs like this that are super messy, just eyeball it. And if you guys want to run it by me to you know, confirm that your zones are proper, you know, feel free. But generally, this is going to be subjective when you end up drawing you know, zones for these messy pairs, because what I see could be totally different from what you see. But they're never going to be wrong as long as they're within the actual K2SR zones. So yeah, we don't have this upper zone here. I'm going to go to the 8 hour. Nothing there. I'm going to go on the daily. All right, perfect. Here we go. All right, for GBP CHF, this upper zone right here is going to be 1.20019, and this lower zone down here is going to be 1.19609. We got another alert for US 30 right here. Looks like that last one didn't close. So we're still waiting for it. Looks like it's still coming down actually. So good thing that I didn't close for a buy, or else we would have been screwed, but we'll let it keep playing out from now until then. But yeah, for GBP CHF right here, this upper zone is going to be 1.20015, and this lower zone right here is going to be 1.19609. Move on to the next one, GJ. This is one that was requested earlier, so I'm going to take some time on this one. Turn off these or delete everything off the chart. Here we go with the naked chart. Turn on the K2SR indicator, and then we can draw these zones. So we got this upper zone right here, lower zone right here, and there's just a bunch of lower zones. I'm just going to draw these rather quickly because you know, price is probably not going to come back down here for a while. Let's draw these right here. Yeah, these lower zones don't have to be super accurate because I don't see price coming down anytime soon. We don't have an upper zone, so I'm going to go on the 8 hour. And there we go. Yeah, guys, don't worry if we keep getting those US 30 signals, because the thing is, we don't have much time right now. I mean, we don't have much movement for it to actually push back up. But I'm going to keep monitoring it, because if we do get that entry, I'm probably going to take it. But okay, looking at GJ right here, go back to the 4 hour. Yeah, so price is currently within a zone right now. So if I turn on the momentum indicator, obviously we have a buy momentum bias right here. So basically we had a buy signal right here. Price broke the zone. This would have been a buy entry right here. Again, right here, price broke the zone up here. We would have had another buy entry. However, we didn't take it because this was a huge move up. So it looks like it would have hit full half TP right here. It's still on its way to full TP, and this is probably going to play out. It's probably going to push up to here. And then, like I mentioned before, it can either break right through it and continue upwards, or it can reject off this zone and then come crashing back down. So 2 scenarios right there. However, with how price is currently moving, you know, depending if the coronavirus news just keeps getting better and better, you know, with regard to the vaccine coming out, it's probably going to keep pushing up further. But we'll have to wait and see. Because the thing with GJ is that I think they're still in a lockdown right now, right? Or yeah, the lockdown just started last week or 2 weeks ago. So, or yeah, last week. So if the lockdown happened last week, it's probably going to, you know, have an effect on this movement, because even though the safe haven currencies are getting money pulled from it, people might move them back to JPY with regard to GBP because they're in a lockdown. So this might just be temporary, and then it might come crashing back down later today or later this week. Let's see, Edward said US 30. Yeah, I'm still looking at it right now, bro. I'm waiting for this to actually close out. But we'll come back and take a look at that as it continues. I still have the alerts going off, so I'm waiting for it to actually close. But yeah, it's pretty much it for GJ right there. Sorry, I don't know if I gave the parameters, but this upper parameter is 139.215. And this lower one right here, I'm going to skip this one because price is currently at it. I'm going to give you this lower one down here, which is 137.865. Let's move on to the next one, GN over here. Go ahead and hide that. Turn on the K2SR indicator. Delete everything off the chart, zoom out. And then from right here, got that zone, that zone, that zone right there. And then we got this lower zone. Right there, we have no lower zone, so I'm gonna go on the 8-hour. A zone down here. Pull this up a little bit. All right, we good. Go on the 4-hour right here. Turn off the K2SRs. All right, yeah, so it looks good. It looks like this lower zone we're testing, last time it tested was in September of this year. And then it tested it again July this year up until June. And then, yeah, so the last time it tested it far back ago was August of last year. So this is a strong support zone right here. So price is currently right here. I do anticipate it, if it comes down, it's probably going to reject off right here. So you guys could anticipate that. But yeah, this upper zone right here is 1.93462. And this lower zone down here is going to be 1.92088. Those are 2 zones for GN right there. Let's move on to this next one, GU. Delete all the zones off there. Turn on the K2SRs. And let's get to work. So we got this zone up here. I'm probably just going to connect these two. There, then we got these zones right here. These zones right here. These zones right here. And then these lower zones over here. All right, cool. So we got everything set up right here. And this is what I meant with the US dollar. So like, because of the elections plus COVID news and everything, there's a ton of whipsaw action right here. So you can see this morning, during London, it shot right back up and then it shot straight back down. So this is an issue here because the thing is, if you're caught in either trade, this whipsawed about 90 pips. So, you probably would have gotten stopped out of this trade if your stop loss was too tight, which makes it a bit risky. But just looking at GU right now, this closest upper zone is going to be 1.31408. And this lower zone right here is going to be 1.30835. So those are the two zones right there for GU. Move on to the next one. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more pairs. And then I'm going to probably analyze US 30 as well, since that's probably going to be my focus this week with my own personal trading. So I need to help pass some FTMOs this week. I got to get some more profit into my my funded account as well. So, all right, we're here at NZD CAD. I'm going to delete this, turn on the K2SR indicator, zoom out from here. All right, so we got that upper zone, this lower zone right here. Lower zone right there, this zone down here, and this one down here as well. All right, cool. So let me turn off this indicator. This closest upper zone for NZD CAD is going to be 0.88392. And this lower zone down here is going to be 0.87806. So those are the two zones right there in between where price currently is. And yeah, you guys can base your rejections off that point. NZD CHF right here, delete this, turn on the K2SRs. Zoom out. So price is in a brand new area where it hasn't really tested in a long time, it looks like. So that's why there's no zones up there yet. But we are going to go on the higher time frame to determine the zones from that specific price point. Right here for NZD CHF. Again, right there. And we're good. Now we just need to get this upper zone over here. We'll go on the 8-hour. I'm just going to draw these zones because price is so far from where price currently is. It's kind of good to have this markup. And yeah, so like looks like price is currently within a zone right now on NZD CHF, which is normal. This is a slow moving pair. It kind of moves sideways most of the time. But yeah, price is currently inside this zone. This upper price is going to be 0.62273, and this lower zone right here is going to be 0.61987. So that's it for NZD CHF. Moving on to, oh man, we got another signal here. Edward, are you watching US 30? I'm not even bothered like really watching it, but every time I get that signal, it's like funny because it shows up and then it disappears. But it looks like it's still going to continue dropping. So this is actually a very risky time to trade US 30 because the thing is US 30 is now currently ranging within this area right here, right? So the problem with this is that price can go either way. It can either drop super heavily or it can skyrocket super heavily. So the thing is you're literally flipping a coin and gambling at this point until you have extra confirmation, because this could literally it could literally go either way, and literally when you least expect it, it'll probably shoot in the opposite direction. So I would probably wait for it a bit. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely an anti-flag. It's literally just it's just consolidating before it either breaks down super heavy or some crazy COVID news happens again like it did this morning, and it just shoots right back up. But there's news with like that CNBC news I was telling you guys earlier with Secretary Ben Carson getting tested positive for coronavirus. I'm sure that affected the market a bit. But sorry guys, I'm getting a ton of messages. Sorry, let me just finish this up real quick. Yeah, I know it's impulsive, tight flag, impulsive. So literally, I agree with you, Ed. I'm just waiting for you know, I'm waiting for that signal really, because I think once we get that signal, then I'd be willing to take it, because obviously if you guys see here, you know, all the buy signals were straight on point, and they were going with the trend as well. So if you turn on the pivots, price was trending up. So literally, if you took all of these pivot entries right here, you could have made a ton of money. That right there, it's like 3,000 pips. Again, right here, another 3,000 pips. Another one right here, another 3,000 pips. Another one right here, another 3,000 pips. And it's like funny. It's like, I wish I took these trades, but I didn't, unfortunately. Max, the elections were just throwing me off. I wish I took all these trades, because we literally could have won every single trade. Peter said, Shawn, do you trade gold and silver or silver? I don't. I used to trade gold a long time ago, like when I first started trading Forex, because I thought it was exciting, but it's just such an unpredictable pair, and it literally does what it wants. So I personally don't trade gold anymore. I would probably just stick to, if you want to trade something similar to gold, just trade like the JPY pairs, because they move similarly, because they're safe haven currencies, but they don't move as crazy, and they're worth a little less. So you can probably trade them a lot better than you would be trading gold, because gold's an expensive asset to trade. But yeah, guys, back to the charts over here. So I was marking up USD Jpy, I think. Let me just take these off. Sorry, guys. Like I keep getting messages from people that are like, "Hey, can you just finish the the zones?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me just finish them real quick," because I'm trying to accommodate for everyone, and I know that sometimes I go off track when I get questions. It just means that I mean well for you guys. I'm only going over those to better prepare you guys for the trading week. But yeah, 4 hour right there. Let's go on the 8 hour. Daily. Oh, so that's good to know. It's currently at a resistance. All right, there we go. We have the zones here for USD Jpy. This upper zone right here is going to be, this upper zone right here is going to be 71.876. And this lower zone down here is going to be 71.218. So those are the two zones right there, in between where price currently is. And like I mentioned before, this huge gap up right here can cause price to either pull back down or break right through it. So that's the confirmation that I'd be waiting for. I'd be waiting for it to either break above it or pull back down and maybe take that sell back to this next zone down here. So we're done with NJ. Move on to NZD USD right here. Let me draw these next zones for this one. Draw on the K2SRs. Yeah, price is way down here. So let me draw this. I'm just gonna be quick with these lower zones, because like I mentioned, price is way up here. I don't anticipate it to come back down here anytime soon. So there's really no reason for us to really give much focus to these lower zones, because if we really wanted to, we can just redraw them at a later time. But currently they're a bit irrelevant. So that's why I'm just gonna be drawing these zones over them real quick. All right, cool. Now we got to get this upper zone over here. It's going to draw some more zones right here. And on the daily. Wow, prices moved up so high for NZD USD that there's no upper zone for the daily. Let me go to the weekly. Okay, now there we go. So guys, the thing is, if you don't find a zone when you're looking on, other time frames, just keep going higher and higher until you find a zone that's either above it or below it. Because the main key is just to have an upper zone and a lower zone, so that you know where to look out for when you're either taking a buy or a sell. What the heck? So it looks like trying to find that zone that I created up here, but it's not even showing up. All right, cool. So here we go. Price is currently down here. So I'm going to skip this middle zone right here. I'm going to give you this upper zone, which is 0.68. Sorry, guys, 0.68646. And this lower zone down here is going to be 0.67985. So those are the two zones in between where price currently is. But it looks super messy. I'm not sure what's going to happen with NZD USD. It's kind of similar with a lot of the other USD pairs. So if you look at NZD USD, it's really messy because it shot up and then it shot right back down. And then if you look at the other pairs, same thing happened for GU, same thing happened for EU. Like, this was even crazier. This is a huge drop. And then the same thing happened for AU as well. Price came up, then it whipsawed right back down. So those are a bit of some risky pairs to trade, especially right now, just because of all the news that has come out with regard to COVID and the new US president. So I would be careful with trading the major pairs right now. Same with USD CAD right here. See, if a lot of people were FOMOing into this trade, which I'm sure a lot of people did, they saw this huge drop, right? So what happens? Everyone enters a short position. As soon as they enter that short position, price goes and reverses right on them. So they're in a bad position right now because they're probably in drawdown. And that's why we never really FOMO into trades. If we see crazy movements like this, it's better for you to just sit out of the market and wait to see how the market reacts versus you hopping into this trade. Because if you took this trade, you'd be in some heavy drawdown right now versus if you're copying. So like, check this out. This is the huge difference because look at the JPY pairs. All of them like shot up and then they kept pushing up, right? So that would be someone FOMOing into a trade and actually benefiting from it. So odd JPY, see the same situation right here. If you guys were to take a buy right here, or if whoever took a buy right here, price is coming back down. So this is why I held off on calling trades at 6 a.m. because it's too risky. The thing is, it doesn't guarantee that price is going to continue up, even though it broke, the zone and that it's a bullish candle. Because if you look at AJ, it's now going sideways. It can either go sideways for a while and then drop back down to fill the gap, or it can continue back up. But it's not always the same case for every single pair. So if you look at AJ, it's just stopped. It came up and then it stopped. If you look at EJ, it came up and then it stopped, right? Just like I mentioned earlier. You look at GJ, it came up and it kept pushing. So the thing is, even though these pairs correlate, it's not always going to play out the same way. So same situation with the USD pairs. Look at Euro USD. It came up and then it dropped down super heavy. You look at GU, it came up and then it just whipsawed back and forth. So just because one pair is moving in one direction doesn't mean that it's going to be doing that for every single pair. Because I feel like that's a problem that a lot of people make when they correlate, the USD pairs. Like obviously NZD USD, GBP USD, it's doing the same thing. But if you're trying to correlate these with EU, you'd be in some crazy trouble right here because EU dropped, it dropped 125 pips. So if you took that with the standard lot, that's like $1,000 right there, 1,250 bucks right there. But yeah, just something to keep in mind, guys. Don't take any like risky trades when it's unnecessary, because a lot of things can happen right now, especially with what's going on, with the elections over the weekend and COVID news this morning. So let's finish this up. USD CAD right here. I'm going to draw the zones for UCAD. Got that zone right there. Got that zone right there. That one. That one. All right, now we need a lower zone right here. There is, just gonna draw this one. Let's go lower to the daily. So I'm just gonna draw this right here. All right, so looking at UCAD right here. That's weird. This price is up here. You don't have to go on the weekly. The USD pairs are so screwed up that it isn't even identifying these zones down here. Okay, cool. So like right here, price currently came down, rejected off the zone, then bounced right back up. So this lower zone right here, which is super far down, is going to be 1.27779. And this upper zone right here is going to be 1.29936. So those are the two zones for, sorry guys, I keep going back between US 30 because I'm trying to take this US 30 entry if it appears. It looks like it's bottoming out right here. So this might be coming back up. So you can see here price came down, came up, came down, consolidated a bit, and then looks like it's swinging back up right here. So if we get that buy signal, it's going to be a nice buy. But sorry guys, back to UCAD. So yeah, I did give the parameters here. Like I mentioned, all the USD pairs are pretty messy right now. So I'd be careful trading them if you're thinking about trading them. Because just comparing them to all of the USD pairs, everything's whipsawing. AU whipsawed, your USD dropped like crazy for whatever reason. GU's whipsawing. So it looks like AU, GU, and NU, they're all whipsawing. They're doing the same thing. Same with UCAD. It's come down and then it's rejected off this point and it's shooting right back up. So looking at USD CHF right here, this is another pair that's doing the opposite of a lot of other pairs. And this is mostly because of the COVID news and the US elections. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier during this webinar, the CHF, the Swiss franc, is a safe haven currency. So since the COVID news is good, a lot of people are pulling the money from the safe haven currency and putting them back into their own currency, the US dollar. So that's basically what's happening here. We currently sort of have a US president. So a lot of morale is going back to the US, plus the COVID news with the new vaccine coming out just dropped. So that's giving more strength to the US dollar as well. But like I mentioned here, price is currently at a zone, so it can literally reject off or it can continue up. But let me go ahead and redraw these zones here to make sure everything's accurate. So it looks like we have a lot more zones actually compared to what was on there previously. So right here. All right, nice. All right, cool. So looking at USD CHF right here, this upper zone over here is going to be 1.91337, and this lower zone down here is going to be the lower zone is going to be 0.90924. So those are the two zones in between where price currently is. Like I mentioned, like anything could happen at this point. We're probably just waiting for some sort of reaction to where price currently is. Going down to UJ over here, go and delete all these. Turn on the K2SR indicator. There we go. Zoom out from there. All right, cool. So we got these zones plotted. UJ looked like it got super messy after it had a huge skyrocket right there, right? Because it was like way down here and it literally shot up how many pips from this low? Jeez, look at that. 250 pips. That's crazy for UJ, slow moving pair. I mean, it's not super slow moving, but it's not fast moving. So it is a little shocking. These are probably connected right here. Probably drop this down right here. It's just a bit of a messy pair. You kind of have to overlap some of them. So looking at UJ right here, it currently rejected off this zone. So what could happen here is it can just pull right back down. So it's just a little risky to take, like I mentioned, pretty much any of the safe haven currencies and any of the USD pairs. So basically here, prices within these two zones. So I'm going to give you this upper zone right here, which is 105.618. And I'm going to skip this one because price might drop right below it and close right here. So this lower zone over here is going to be 105.321. So let's see. So that's good for those two right there. So I think that's it. So that's pretty much all of the actual pairs that we trade. We have a USD SGD right here, but we don't really trade this anymore. I'm probably going to take this off the watch list soon. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the Forex pairs that we follow. Let's see if we see anything over here for US 30. Okay, perfect. We got 2 minutes on this candle. It's just like I mentioned. It's rounding out right here and it's shooting up. So if we get this buy signal, it's probably going to shoot up even further. Let me get this set up right here, guys. You guys see my chart. So this is basically the daily US 30 entry, guys. If you guys are familiar with it, basically what we do is we take the first valid K2 signal after 6:30 a.m., which is the New York Stock Exchange open. And then, yeah, if this closes right here, this would be the first valid signal. So if this closes, we'll be taking our buy from there. And then I'll probably be calling this in the premium group. But you guys see it here. So if you guys want to enter with us, feel free. Ed, are you still there? Looks like we got our entry coming, bro. Let me get my phone ready. I'm going to take this on my MT4. All right, we got 1 minute left on this candle, hoping that it plays out. Nice. Let's go, Ed. Waiting for this all morning. I finally hit the gym after this. If this closes. So if this closes, I'm probably gonna get off for a bit, guys. I'm gonna look for some FX trades, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be anything really worth taking right now. Yeah, I'm taking a 15 too, bro. I need to make some profit from last week. I might not even put a TP, bro. I might just put a stop loss and then just move my stop loss and profit as it slides up. Because I got a lot to make up for, like from last week. So we didn't really trade last week. But yeah, we got about 13 seconds. Let me shit, I was supposed to call this trade too. All right, it's all good. I took the trade already. So let me just so I got that set up. Actually, let me get a little closer so people can see from here. All right, let me set out this trade. And that retracement right there is ugly. Send out this trade real quick. Everything looks good. My parameters for FTMO. There we go, guys. alert set up. We in profit. Let's fucking get it, guys. Let's do it. All right. So I got all my alerts set up. We are good. Yeah, it's time to hit the gym, bro. All right, man. So we got this all set up right here. All right, looks like we're pretty much good. Let me just check out the chat real quick. All right, no questions. Cool. Sure, we got everything here. Nice. Paulo's made some money today. But yeah, guys, so I think that's it for the the weekly chart analysis. I've gone over pretty much all the pairs that we follow for Forex. I'm going to go down the list real quick if you guys want to hang around. I'm gonna go down the list, see if there's any entries for the next candle close. And then from there, we will probably call it a day for this webinar, and then we'll probably hop back on tomorrow for the weekly. I mean, not the weekly, for the normal webinar. I might start doing this morning session, guys, because it seems like this time works better for a lot of people. And then we can probably, figure out what people like more. If they like the morning session or if they like the afternoon session, we can probably bounce around. But yeah, let me just set this up on my phone so I don't forget. I'm not going to put a target for my trade, guys. I'm just going to leave it open target. And I'm just going to keep moving my stop loss up as it moves up. So I got no target on mine. I do have a target here. I did give a target in the premium as well. But me personally, I'm not going to put a target. I'm just going to, like I mentioned. So once this moves up to TP1 right here, I'm going to move my stop loss up as I go. I'm just going to keep sliding it up so that I can maximize my profit potential. Because just the way that the market's been moving, there's a ton of volatility in the market. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully it goes to the moon, which is what I'm waiting for. And if it does, I mean, that'd be great. But yeah, okay. So I'm looking at that there, 30-minute over here. So this as well, guys, if this closes above the, the 2,500 mark, I think it's going to shoot up even further. So that's what I'm waiting for right there. Sorry, guys, I'm getting some messages on DMs blowing up right now. Plug in my charger. Nice, yeah. I kind of like the morning session too, because we get to get everything out of the way, and we're all like fully awake, and the market's actually moving, so we can actually take some pretty good trades. So I might just keep doing this morning session. We'll keep doing it this week, and we'll see how it plays out. If everyone likes it, then we'll just continue doing this. But yeah, let me look through. Nice. Yeah, no problem, Greg. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the morning session. It's kind of good for me too, because it keeps me in check and it forces me to pay attention in the morning. But okay, so let's go down the Forex pairs. I'm just going to see if there's any entries that we can possibly take for the next candle close in about 40 minutes. So I'm not gonna look at US 30 anymore, because it's it's gonna do what it's gonna do, and it's just gonna, if we keep looking at it, it's just gonna keep making us nervous and making us want to adjust our position. So I'm going to let it be. And then I'm going to go through the Forex pairs to see if there's any entries for us off the next 4-hour candle close. So basically right here for Jpy, this technically would be an entry right here, because using the K2SR zone strategy, first we want to confirm that price breaks and close past the K2SR level, which would be this level right here. And then next we want to confirm the direction of momentum. So right here we have a buy signal. So this is indicating a momentum swing upwards, correct? So in that situation, we would anticipate this to push from this zone to this zone up here. However, like I mentioned before, this is an irregular movement. Like this isn't something normal. So the reason for this is that this shot up nearly, 170 pips. So what could happen here is you can either do what it's supposed to do and push up to the next zone, or it can pull back and fill this gap that it created right here. So what might happen here is you can see there's another zone right here. What might happen is it might push down here and then consolidate before either shooting up or dropping down further. So for something like this, I probably won't call this trade because it's just too risky. What I'm going to do is I'll probably just wait a little bit, maybe a couple more candles, and then let it drop down a little bit. Because what could happen here is it can come down to here, and then we can put like a buy stop order right here to enter that same price that we would have if we entered at this point. And then as it shoots back up, we catch that right up with it. Same thing vice versa. If it comes down here, we can wait for it to come down. And then if it shoots back up, we can catch that right back up as well. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out basically. But I'm not going to call Jpy. I don't know if you guys are watching the little ticker right here. This thing's moving like crazy. It went from like 4% to like back to 3.9. So I'm not going to bother looking at US30 because it's just going to give me a heart attack if I keep looking at it and it just keeps bouncing around. So looking at odd NZD right here, this technically would be a decent sell entry. This is something that I might call because using the same strategy that I just discussed, basically right here, price is broken closed past this K2SR level, right? So after it's closed right here, we're going to confirm the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a sell momentum candle. Even though it's not a valid sell signal, it's still following through with that momentum that it created right here. So what we anticipate happening from this point is that it's going to continue further and test this next zone right here. So this is something that I might call, keep it in mind. That's why I have it highlighted right here. It's something that I already looked at before, but we needed that extra confirmation before taking this trade. So right here, this looks good. I'll keep it marked. We might take it, but we'll have to give it some more time because this candle closes in 39 minutes. So right here for AUD/USD, this would be an entry if price closed above this zone right here. However, it hasn't closed above that zone yet, so we will not be taking this trade until it does. Cad Chf. This one's, I don't know, it's just too messy, guys. Like how I mentioned, it's the same situation with Jpy. It's a big gap right there. So the difference with Jpy is that it just consolidated. Right here for Cad Chf, it broke it, and then it's continuing up right there. So this technically would have been the entry right here, but it's way too late. It would have hit TP2 on its way to, TP, full TP. So it's already pushed up nearly, let's see, about 30 pips. It's way too late to enter this trade. So we wouldn't be even looking at this to enter it. But this would have been a good entry right there. Cad Jpy, same situation here. Price broke the K2SR zone. And then on top of that, we have a buy momentum right here. So this would indicate that price is likely to push up to this next zone right here. Nice. Okay, so US30, I said I was going to take a look, but it's just looking too good, guys. So I had to take a look at US30. We're currently in profit on the way to TP1. But yeah, so looking at Cad Jpy right here, it's just too late to enter this trade, but it would have been a good trade if it was taken. right here, it did exactly what we would have anticipated it to. So price broke the zone right here. We have buy momentum. So it pushed up from this zone up to this zone right here, where it rejected off, or it actually pushed up to this next zone where it rejected off and came right back down. So too late for this entry. Skip that. This is the Euro odd that I gave earlier. So for this one right here, it's the same thing is going on as what I discussed earlier. It's still in profit. It looks like it's gonna hit full TP in a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't make it an official call. Probably should have, so I can count that to our win rate. But since I didn't, it's not going to be counted. And that's just me with my full transparency with you guys. I'm not gonna go and pad our results with wins that I didn't call as official entries. I only count the trades that I call as official signals. So if you guys did take this call that I gave yesterday, you're like deep in profit right now. You're in profit about, wow, 80 pips. About to hit full TP for 85 pips. So this is looking great right here. Congrats to whoever took it. I wish I took it, but it was just too risky for me. All right, this next one, Eurocad. This is another issue similar to Jpy and I think Cad Chf, where this would have been an entry because price broke the zone. The momentum's coming down right here. So we are basically anticipating this to come down even further to test this next zone over here. However, this has dropped so heavily that it might have to correct back up at some point. Kind of similar to what happened right here. Price came down super far, rejected off the zone, and then shot way back up. So that's something that we don't want to get caught in, because like with this situation right here, you don't want to take a sell, and then as soon as you enter a sell, it's going to shoot right back up, right? So that's why I wouldn't take this trade right here. Unmark that. Looking at Euro CHF right here, this was too close to the zone, but it did exactly what we would have anticipated. So price broke the zone, it tested the next zone right here, and then it came right back down. No entry there. EG, looks like there's nothing right here currently available. However, if it does close below the zone, so if it closes below here, then it would provide for a good sell entry. Because like I mentioned right here, if price breaks the zone, we have a sell momentum, then we can anticipate it to drop down to the next zone that hasn't even been created yet. So the reason, here's an example for why we wouldn't take this specific trade. So right here, people are like, oh, it broke the zone. Why wouldn't you take that trade? The reason for that is because if you look back to the momentum candle, it's a buy signal, right? So there's no sell signal here. There's no momentum coming down. And that's exactly why if you enter this trade, it would have shot right back up. TP1, guys, celebrate. Let's see who's ready to celebrate. We got TP1 right here, about to hit full TP. I got no target, so I'm chilling, but I'm going to ride this up. Nice. I'm up 1,200 right now, guys. So if you guys took the trade, I took this live with you guys. You guys saw that we took it, we called it. It's perfect. Yeah, let me send out this update real quick. Beautiful. All right, man, everyone's making their money back. Nice. Oh shit, come on. Why did I do that? All right, wrong one. There we go, guys. TP, let's get it. Nice. Ed is up 2,000. Yeah, I would do that, Ed. I would move your stop loss up to TP1. I should do that too. I'm over here like lagging it, but I should also do that. Nice. I'm up 1,600 now. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna move my stop loss up too, just in case. Sorry guys, I'm trying to trying to match up my numbers right here. I'm like, man, why does my numbers look off? Because the FTMO is kind of it's a little different, but the profits are nice, man. Whew. What a great way to kick off our trading week. All right, guys, we in profit. So I'm gonna I'm probably gonna stay on with you guys because let me see. It's that 30-minute one at? Nice. Ed just sent me a photo. Let's see. I'm probably gonna keep scalping this thing. Paulo sent his as well. Let's see. Yeah, me too, Ed. I think I do too, because this keeps me focused on the trades. I feel like in the morning I'm doing too many things, and then I forget about the US 30 trade sometimes. But it's been working out pretty nice for us, so I'm probably gonna keep doing these morning sessions because they benefit all of us, you know. All right, cool. Yeah, for these morning sessions, I might have to just keep it to the premium because we're oh man, it's pushing up even more. It's looking good. Yeah, definitely. You like this too, Spencer? Yeah, I think this works best for all of us. So I'm probably gonna just keep doing these morning sessions. And this US 30 is looking nice. Check out the chat real quick. All right, cool. Looks like it's dropping down a little bit. You know, I'm probably gonna scalp this. See if I could find the pivots. Damn, US 30 is moving crazy. So this is the 1 minute. This thing's spiking all over the place. Yeah, so technically, guys, like if you guys are, because I did go over the strategy. This is a little more advanced, but basically the way that this strategy would work if I was scalping was if it came down to the pivots, I would just re-enter another buy right here. So I technically would have been into this trade even further. Damn, this thing is shooting up like crazy, guys. It's nice. You know, it's nice because we were chilling like all last week, and it's a great feeling to hit these CPs again. I was getting bored for a second. You know, I had to go start some new businesses while while we were waiting for the elections. Hey Ed, is that your dog? Let me see. You sent me a photo on your on IG, I think, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's your dog, huh? Where's Kai at? My boys are here sleeping under my chair. He's knocked out. I was gonna bring him up here, but he's knocked out right now. Yeah, man, this is looking great. So I'm gonna keep holding on to this, let it run even further. So look, if this closes, oh man, look, this is gonna be crazy. So Ed, look, check this out. I'm on the 30-minute right now. If this closes on the buy signal, then I'm anticipating this to shoot up even further. So, man, I'm gonna have to skip the gym for a bit, try to catch more profits on this one. Yeah, you know, the gym could wait. This thing's shooting up like heavy right now. Look at that. It's about to hit TP1. I mean, full TP actually. It's about to hit full TP. I got no target, so I'm just gonna keep riding this thing up. Yeah, this is great. And then I'm hoping this thing closes with a signal on the 30 minutes so I could see it shoot even further up. But yeah, sorry guys, I got sidetracked for the non-US 30 traders here. Let me let me take a look at. Yeah, no, definitely. So right here I have these little critical price points measured out. So if this closes, well, this candle did close above the 29,500. So I anticipated to at least push up to, you know, 29,750. And then if it closes above here, above 29,750, I see it shooting up all the way to 30,000. So, I mean, this is like everything's lining up, you know. It's like it's playing out perfectly. Yes, here I'm here on the 30-minute right here, and then I have these price points here. Like they're like, you know, basically the all right, I'd seen a little bit. Good thing I took Kai out already. I took him this morning before the US 30. I needed no distractions this morning. So I took him out for his little walk earlier. I'm gonna give him another walk after we hit full TP right here on US 30. But yeah, let me keep going down these FX pairs just to see if there's any entries for you know, the non-US 30 traders, unfortunately. So this would have been a good trade right here, but we didn't call it because of the big moves that happened. Oh, crazy drop for you. Oh yeah, Sierra City hit 30K this morning, then dropped some. Yeah, so that drop, that push up right here was you know, due to the coronavirus news. So like I mentioned, these are strong price points. Basically, this is like where the banks and algos are, where, you know, if price reaches this point, they try to push it back down. So they have a whole bunch of sell orders right here where they just unload their positions. But it looks like it's going for a second attempt right here. So if it makes a second attempt, I could probably see it breaking right through it. Should be great, you know? So I will keep watching it. Probably gonna skip the gym until I maximize my profits on this, because I need to make up my profits from last week. We didn't really trade much last week. Yeah, it's looking great so far. It's about to hit full TP. Come on, I just need a little more push. There we go, guys, for that full TP right there. If you guys were in the nice, yeah, that's pretty good on a penny lot. And then you just keep adding up from there, you know, just keep compounding the account. But yeah, it's about to hit full TP right here. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, I don't have a target So I'm just moving my stop loss up as price continues to push upwards. So it's looking great so far. Move my stop loss up again. All right. This is just going to take some time, so I'm probably going to, you know what, I'm going to see if I can scalp a bit on here. So I'm scalping on my phone, guys. I just have the charts open on the 1 minute because I'm doing scalping on my phone. You guys can't see what I'm doing, unfortunately, but yeah, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, why I keep looking down, it's because I'm at my phone right here, scalping on it as it comes down to the pivots. Oh, fuck, I can't do it. Sorry, guys. I got to, forgot that I have the other copier accounts linked to my account, so I have to turn those off. Actually, it's fine. I could leave it on here. I need to turn them off because I can't, scalping doesn't work the same on, wait, did I take all these trades? Let's see. Damn it. All right, cool. It's not horrible. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to fix something on here. 909. Yeah, I gotta turn off the, man, the stupid spread like kicked me out of the trade. It's all good. I got kicked out in profit. So that's all good. But yeah, I'm watching this right here. Trying to scalp some. And this sticker always cracks me up. Let's see. Nice. Yeah, I'll be sending these to the to our daily post in a little bit. Oh wow. The hell, Sammy in this group too? That's crazy, bro. 1 million? That'd been awesome if it was real though. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at what he put. Dang, it's like 6% up. That's insane for US 30. So I'll make sure everyone's profits were looking good. Nice. Sorry guys, looks like I missed a couple messages this morning. All right, I think it's time to scalp this. And it seems to push up a little bit. People are asking what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the chart, guys, and then I have my phone right here because I'm scalping US 30 right now. So I'm currently just watching it as it moves. And I'm just manually entering and exiting the trades. Just waiting for it to hit full TP already. Let's see. Nice, Spencer. Spencer killed it too. Everyone's killing it today. Looking great. All right, cool. Looks like it's about to hit full TP. Man, I hate when the market does this. It's like playing games. Come on, just hit our full TP already. Check the other chart. Jeez. There we go. Come on. Come on up. Come on. It's like a few pips from getting full TP. Just go up a little more. Just a little more. Let's see this chat real quick. Oh yes, yeah. EN did break below it. I'm watching that. Actually, I have it marked up on my chart. So I was waiting for that to actually close before we reach the next 4-hour candle, and then I'll see if it's like a good entry or not. Yeah, I'm sure it is a demo account. Sierra, that million is way too heavy for a normal trader. And yeah, I'm not using the pivot strategy for this specific scalping. It's similar. It's like a variation to the pivot strategy, but it's just a little more advanced. You kind of have to know what you're doing to apply it. Basically, when price comes down to the pivots, and it's we have a buy signal, right? So if it pushes up, retraces down, rejects off this point, I enter a buy position right there. I write it back up. And then I close it, comes back down, enter another buy position, and then pretty much just repeat itself as it continues to move forward. So it's a little more advanced because you kind of have to be able to watch the chart and know what you're doing when it happens. But it's just a variation of the pivot strategy. It's just for the pivot strategy, you're waiting for the actual signal candle, so you have that confirmation. But for me, I can just see it with my eyes just by looking at it. So that's why I'm able to, there we go, full TP, guys. Enjoy. Full TP, let's get it. All right, so let me post up those results. Hope you guys are happy with K2 today. I know a lot of people are upset because we didn't post many trades last week, but hopefully you guys understand that that was all done for a reason. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes the best trade is no trade. All right, we good with that? Let me send out that result. I'm still gonna scalp it either way, so I'm gonna keep scalping it, guys, regardless. Let's see. So let me send out the full TP for that. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize that you guys should be more happy that someone is not giving you a losing trade versus them just not giving you a trade at all. Because sometimes it's better for you just not to trade and be able to protect your capital for an actual good trading day versus you just gambling and taking as many trades as possible. All right, so we're good with that. I'm still following it though. I just keep scalping it. Let me see. Nice, Greg. Hope you made some profit off that one too. Looks like everyone made a pretty nice profit off that US 30. Sorry guys, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm still scalping, so I'm just watching the chart as it moves around. Market's super volatile right now. So I just want to make sure that this shoots right back up. Damn, this thing's moving like crazy right now, guys. All right, I just want to get out of this current position and profit. And I'm probably going to take a break, guys, because I need to step away from this for a little bit. Let this thing shoot up a bit. I still got to look for some Forex trades too. So that's probably what I'm going to do before I step away from the computer for a bit. I got a bunch of questions to answer as well. So got my hands tied right now. I just want to make sure that this plays out. Jesus, dude, market's crazy right now. Oh, fuck, I forgot to take it off the other one. Damn it, okay, let me see. Damn, dude. This thing is just moving like, I don't know, it makes me not want to trade right now because of like how it's moving. Let's see. That's what Jonathan got. Nice. Yeah, looks like everyone's killing it. Let's see. Everyone's saying about, someone's asking about the 1 hour entry. So let me check that out. If you guys are familiar with the 1 hour entry, basically, it starts from London time right here, and we take the first valid signal, following that. So if we have a invalid signal like this, we don't take this. But if we get a buy signal at some point between now and London session tomorrow, then that would qualify as the 1 hour entry. So that's basically what we're, oh my God, Arg, you missed it? Where's Arg at? Is Arg not on this call? He was just on this call too. I can't believe Arg missed his trade. He wanted me to have this live session to call the trade, and he didn't even take it. Oh man, I feel bad for Arg. See if there's questions up here. I think I might have missed some questions this morning. Let me see, I got a couple chats here. Yeah, this thing dropped pretty heavily right there. Let me see, AN. There. Bunch of messages here. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna get off the. Actually, no, I'm fine. I'll stay on for a little bit because I'm gonna call this signal in about 5 minutes. I'm going to answer some questions meanwhile. All right, let me go over that. Let me see. Let me check this. Sorry, guys, I'm answering questions right now. So if you guys have any questions, I'm probably not. Okay, I see. No, Edward, I actually got stopped out in profit. So I didn't put any TP. So I got stopped out a little earlier. Which is fine. I mean, I'm not mad about getting stopped out in profit, but yeah, basically I didn't hit full TP, but I did make some profit, and now I'm scalping it currently. So let me see. I'm probably gonna enter this right here too. Right, cool. Took my trade. I'm back in a US 30 right now, guys. I'm scalping it. But yeah, so let me go back to answer these questions real quick. But yeah, Ed, I'm just scalping it through here right now. Nice. I'm back in US 30 right now, guys. It's pushing up in profit. Ooh, nice. Back up $600. Yeah, guys. So basically what happened here was I entered right here for a pivot entry. Well, I entered a little earlier because I saw it pushing up and I knew it was going to continue going. So what happened was I entered a little earlier around here, or down here actually, super early, because I saw the signal and I already knew it was going to come up. So that's why I just entered off, my gut feeling. And then, now I'm currently in profit. So I'm currently writing this up right now. Let's see. Probably gonna let it run for a bit. Look at that thing. Oh man, look at that. You guys watching this right now? Nice. Greg said he took his profits and re-entered looking good. I'm doing the same thing, bro. I'm up 1200 again right now. So I'm literally just writing this thing up. I'm gonna keep moving my stop loss and profit. And then oh man, look at that. Because this thing, I think it's gonna keep being bullish, guys. So I'm just gonna keep pushing my I'm just gonna keep, re-entering. I got stopped out in profit again, another 1100. All right, I need to sit down. I'm gonna let this. Yeah, Spencer said, "Wow, this is dangerous. It's too good." Yeah, I'm pretty much just waiting for it now because I'm waiting for another entry. I got stopped out in profit here for about 1100. I'm gonna wait for another entry, maybe another sell signal, and then catch the ride back up, or I might wait for it to come down here. Test the pivot, and then I'll enter another buy and just ride that thing back up. But yeah, this is nice. Let's see what else we got right here. Let me keep going down my questions real quick. And we keep going down here. Yeah, exactly, Ed. Same here, because you know, since we're all watching it, we're all kind of looking at it, so we all know what's going on. And since I'm looking at it too, it's helping us all, like, you know, pick up these entries right here. So this is pretty good, because the thing is, since we're all on the same page, we're not all like taking dumb trades, you know, because sometimes I'll be posting trades and people will be taking different trades. But since we're on this webinar, we're all keeping each other in check. Let's see. Sierra said, "Are you doing this on the 1 minute chart?" Yeah, I'm doing this on the 1 minute chart, but I don't recommend you do it or anyone else do it unless like you're really comfortable with trading on the 1 minute chart, because the 1 minute chart is not something to play with, because this will move really fast, and if you're not able to get in and out of trades, you know, pretty quickly, you might get caught in some bad trades like this right here. So for here, I exited this trade in profit when it was way up here. I got out at like about 1100, but if you didn't, you would have been back. You've probably been in the negative at this point. So when you're trading on the 1 minute chart, you have to be very on point with entering and exiting your trades right away, because if not, you could really get caught on some bad trades. Like for me earlier, I was in this trade right here, and then I entered the buy somewhere around here, and thankfully it shot right back up so I can make it in profit. However, if I entered like right here, I would have had, well, no, actually I did enter here and I took a loss. I took a small loss. I entered right here, and then once it crossed down here, I closed out for a loss, and then I got back in right here, and I made that back double profit. So it's like, you really have to know what you're doing if you're going to be trading on the 1 minute. I don't recommend anyone trade on the 1 minute unless you're fully confident with your you know, your scalping capabilities, because it's not easy to do, and it really plays with your emotions unless you're comfortable with the risk. So let's see. Sorry guys, I'm going to keep going through my questions real quick, and then I'm probably going off. Okay, sorry guys, I forgot to call this trade, damn it. Okay, forgot to call AN, and we're too focused on US 30. Sorry, let me just rewind it so it's not actually doesn't even matter. I'll try to call it right now and see if let's move this over here. I was too focused on all this. I got so much stuff to do, guys, so I'm like all over the place. I didn't get a chance to call this trade. Hopefully it I mean, it'll probably pull back to entry. So if it pulls back to entry, you guys could probably still hop back into it. And we'll see. We will see, guys. It's 45 pips. 2 pips. So let's see if this fills. I don't know if it's going to fill because I'm kind of late on this. Kind of lost track of time. Set my alerts for this. Pips. 11. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? And this dude just wants to scratch all over the place. He's awake now, so I can show you guys what Kai looks like. Come here, Kai. Say what's up to the K2 family. Come here. Here's Kai, guys. All right, buddy, look, there's a camera right there. Steve just woke up from his nap, man. All right, you ready to head down? Take you for your walk right now, okay, buddy? All right, go ahead. Let's see. Yes, yeah. So I think AN is probably going to drop from this point to this point down here. Maybe. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this will likely come down to there. So we did get a sell signal. It's coming down. And the NZD pairs are pretty strong. So that's why I think that they are going to continue downwards. Yeah, he's pretty big, Ed. I mean, he's not huge, but he's, you know, he's like a miniature golden retriever, basically. Greg, he's part golden retriever. I think he's half golden retriever, and then he's a quarter chow chow, and he's a quarter something else, like a corgi or something. Because it's funny, he has a golden retriever face and golden retriever personality, but he has a small body. So he's like a miniature golden retriever. It's a funny guy. But he's perfect because he fit, like he's not big, but he's also not too small. So he's perfect. He's my little lap dog. He's always down here under my desk. Come here, Kai. You ready to go for your walk? I think Kai's ready to go for his walk. So I set out these trades, guys. I have a whole bunch of questions to answer. So I'm probably gonna get offline for a little bit. But maybe I'll hop back on later. Oh, damn, I'm so upset that I got out of this trade. Check this out. And if you guys are still in this trade, I got stopped out right here in profit, and then it shot up even further. I don't know if I should hop back in. Oh, man, I'm like so tempted to just hop back in right now. All right, let's see this real quick. Nice, okay. Man, see, the last thing I want to do is hop into this trade and then it pulls back. That's why I'm probably gonna wait for it to come down, maybe test this pivot again before making an entry. But yeah, guys, I got a whole bunch of stuff to do, so I'm gonna get off this webinar we've been on for about 3 hours. It was a good webinar, guys. Don't get me wrong. Like I would stay on this all day if I didn't have all this other stuff to do. But I do have to prepare for some mentoring sessions, and I also have to answer a bunch of questions that came in during the webinar. So I'm going to get offline for a little bit, guys, and then hopefully I'm probably going to hop on this again tomorrow morning. So we could do this again pretty much every day. Hopefully, let's see the news for tomorrow just to make sure that there's no yeah, so there's no news tomorrow morning. So we could probably do this again tomorrow morning. Probably be really beneficial to, you know, the whole team. So yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. Hopefully you guys make some more profit while I go answer all these questions. I'm probably gonna be scalping as well on the side. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. If you guys have any other questions or if you guys want me to analyze anything, just message me on Telegram. Otherwise, I'm gonna go offline for a bit, and then we can probably link back up on this tomorrow or later tonight if the market picks up. So yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in a little bit, and then we'll pick back up on this tomorrow. But yeah, guys, hope you guys